Hey everybody, it's Daniel here for Mobile Syrup, and today we're looking at Wind Mobile's first Windows Phone device. This is the HTC Radar 4G, and this is a 3.8-inch WVGA display, TFT technology. So we're looking at a mid-range device here. It runs for $399 on outright, and Wind has just updated their plans, so you can get this for pretty cheap on the Wind tab. And you can see it's a quite attractive device. It's a unibody aluminum design with a bit of plastic, white and silver color scheme. It's got a front-facing camera, standard 3 capacitive buttons at the bottom. You have a dual stage camera shutter button that you can access the camera from the lock screen, and it takes really nice and quick photos. This was one of the first devices that HTC was promoting its new low aperture, high speed camera software and sensors. So this, along with the HTC Titan, which was launched last year, got a lot of press in terms of that. Let's look at a bit of the hardware. You can see it's not the thinnest device at 10.9 millimeters, but certainly easy to hold in the hand. It's very compact and feels great. You won't need a case with this at all. It just feels fantastic. On the left hand side we have a micro USB port, and on the right side we have a volume rocker and the dual stage camera shutter. Up top we have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and a power button that's very easy to press with your index finger. We also have a VGA front facing camera, and when you turn it around we have a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash. We also have dual microphone for noise cancellation and a single mono speaker that's been bezeled right into the plastic here. And you also have more microphones at the bottom for stereo capture in video. To get the access to the SIM card rather, you just toss that bottom piece right off there. It's a piece of plastic, but it fits nice and snugly, although it does expose a few of the seams here, which I'd prefer were not able to be seen due to some dust and other stuff that can get in there. But overall, this is a very nice compact device. Turning it on, you see there is an 800 by 480 pixel display. This is standard on Windows Phone. You can also see that Windows Phone Mango loads up very quickly. While we're waiting for it to load up, you can see the difference in size between the HTC Radar and the Nokia Lumia 800. They're about the same height, even though the Lumia has a smaller 3.7-inch screen. About the same thickness too. I believe that they're within a couple millimeters of each other. But you can also just see the industrial design differences compared to from Nokia to HTC. Very different unibody designs, different materials altogether, but certainly comparable in terms of performance. So if you see the home screen here and we go over to the right side, you can see the difference in black contrast quality and other things there. So overall, the Lumia has better specs, but it's much more expensive. This has a 1 gigahertz single-core processor, a 512 megs of RAM, and 8 gigabytes of internal storage, which is non-expandable, unfortunately. One advantage that this does have over the Lumia is internet sharing, so you can actually turn on and create an internet hotspot that's not currently available on the Lumia 800. We do believe that it's coming fairly soon, but we can't make any announcements about that. One issue that the Radar does have, however, is a limitation of Mango itself. Due to the fact that Wind roams on Rogers' Edge network when out of a Wind home area, you don't currently have the option to differentiate between domestic roaming and international roaming. So you'll want to turn on roaming, which is off by default, and turn off data if you want to be able to make calls in your Wind away area. But when you go into like the US, for example, this will also enable you to use data by default, and you'll want to turn that off. So this is going to be updated with Windows Phone Tango, where it'll allow you to differentiate between international roaming and domestic roaming, and that'll make things a little bit easier. You also see that Wind has put the 4G symbol here, so even though this is running at 14.4 megabits a second, it's still a 4G or 4G connection. So the software additions that you'll see on the HTC Radar, you have the HTC Hub, which is very similar to what you'd find on an Android device as a widget, but just operates, you see that very standard clock here. It operates just to show you different time zones and stocks and news. Everything is very standard. You can see this Metro design is well worn, but quite nice. It also has HTC Watch. This is very similar to what you'd find on an Android device. You can purchase and download movies, TV shows, and save them for offline use. So everything is pretty standard. Also adheres to the Metro stylings, and the selection has actually improved quite a bit since we first looked at it last year. So that'll be something to look for, and it makes it very easy to just take, rent or buy a show, a TV show or a movie, and take it on the go with you. So that's it. Also, you have the ability to enhance your photos. This is a nice little app. So, I've taken a photo of the Lumia. I can auto enhance it. I can create different, you use different preset tones, kind of like Instagram, and I can then save it, and it'll save it as a new file. So it's it's very simple, very simplistic, but then you can find it in your camera roll. And go from there. Windows Phone has a really nice ability to be able to auto-upload photos. So you can auto-upload a photo to SkyDrive, and it'll be there once you've taken it. So I can just take a photo, for example, another one of the Lumia. Takes it very quickly, and without actually doing anything, it'll just upload it right into the background. That's a huge advantage of Windows Phone over other competing operating systems which use third-party apps to perform the same functions. Other things that come with the Radar: connected media for DLNA support. You can stream movies and videos and music to a DLNA supported device. You have locations, which is a turn-by-turn navigation software that will that is very similar to what comes on HTC Sense, and you can find different things. You can find different landmarks, for example. You can track yourself using footprints. You can have you can set your My Home and take you home automatically. You also have a nice Notes app. Very simple, but it does the trick. So if I want to add a note, for example, you can just type using the excellent keyboard. Okay, so you also have a couple third-party apps. You have Tango, which has the ability to make VoIP calls and video calls with your friends, and Microsoft Office as well as a first-party edition that's in all Windows phones. So this is a very nice and very inexpensive way to get into the Windows Phone market. It's $399 outright, and does most of the things that more expensive Windows phones do. It's also the first Windows Phone to be available natively on an AWS network in Canada. So Mobilicity does not have any Windows phones for sale. Wind only has this one, and it's a good choice for introductory smartphone users who are a little bit intimidated by Android and who can't get the iPhone on those AWS networks. Though the app selection is not quite as good as the iOS or Android platforms, it's making it's making some decent headway, and we should have some more marquee apps in the next year. Performance is incredibly smooth all the time. You can see that at least over Wi-Fi. If I want to load up the New York Times, which is my go-to benchmark website, loads up extremely quickly. Very nice and smooth performance, and overall things just run quite nicely on Wind's 4G network. You're not going to find the same speeds as Rogers, Telus, or Bell just by virtue of the technology behind it. And there's no flash support here, but you can see it's quite smooth. Transitions to landscape are also really good, and text looks quite good on the WVGA screen. So overall, this is definitely an excellent choice for anybody looking for an entry-level smartphone. This is a little bit more expensive than most entry-level Android phones, but you're getting what you pay for. It's a much higher quality build, and the software is pretty full-featured. So this is Daniel from Mobile Syrup. Thank you so much for watching.